I was born in Yugoslavia, which doesn't exist anymore. Then I finished off my apprenticeship. I was 17 and a half. Then moved to Germany, lived there, come back, finished off my army time. So by year 20, I was already qualified chef, had year working experience, and finished off my army time off. Then went back to Germany, and then lived there. Met a good guy, Henry. He was master himself, but he was 27 when he got it. Normally, you cannot get it before year 30. Before you turn 30, you cannot become a master chef. So he done it by year 27. So that was one inspiration of me to do something like that. And yes, I failed the first time, and the second time I done it 3 months before my 30th birthday. So I still beat it. Yeah. And everything else is just a part of adjusting, adapting to market and everything else. So you just have to go and learn and adapt to life as it comes.
So what exactly did you think before choosing to become a master chef? What went on in your mind?
What went?
Yeah.
That was a challenge for me. I liked it. I wanted to have a master degree as per se.
Yeah.
So yeah, I speak 4 languages, and out of those 4 languages, writing and reading, everything. Out of those 4 languages, I have certificates, master certificate, and a couple of diplomas, in 3 languages.
Beautiful. You're amazing. Yeah, and then you moved from Yugoslavia.
To achieve all this, you just have to live long and be interested in everything. This is my certificate filer.
Wow, that's your certificate file. and
From massaging, 3 different massages and electrics and welding and so on.
Okay, so can you just slow down? So one is you moved from Yugoslavia to Germany, and then you decided to become a master chef.
The move, I've always wanted to see world.
All right. And from Yugoslavia you moved to Germany, and in Germany you did your master chef.
Yes, I worked there and lived there and so on. And then I worked with the master chef himself, who was a young fella, and that was the inspiration at itself to do something. So it's actually more or less is who you surround with yourself.
That's true. So
that's it.
All right. Okay. And then what brought you to Australia from Germany?
My mom moved to Australia, and then a couple of years later, I moved to Australia. Lived in Gladstone for 2 years, then went out to Outback, lived there in Longreach for 10 years, and then 2000 moved to Toowoomba. Now I live in Toowoomba longer than I lived in my own country.
Yeah, and what did you do in Australia when you came here? Were you a master chef here?
No, I couldn't get any job, so I did anything else, from welding inspection with the X-rays and all that stuff to whatever. Yeah.
So what you're saying is you had this master chef degree and you have all these languages. You came here, and when you didn't have a job, you went on to leave that behind. And you took on welding.
Just weld research. Welds, what they do? They weld pipes, like for the gas. What they done in a rocky area. That's it. What we done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there is a different things what you. So we done overnight, or always nights, because no workers there, because it's all exposure of radiation.
Yeah, and so you were 30 when you moved to Australia.
34.
You're 34, and after 34, you felt it absolutely okay to leave behind what you did and start something new?
Yes, you have, because there was nothing at that present time, okay, and they didn't recognize my diplomas and so on. So after 2 years of writing, my first qualification was recognized. So I said, okay, how about the master certificate? They didn't have that in a framework.
All right. And then what happened after that? Because I know you did a lot of stuff. I want to know what after that. We finished MasterChef, we finished welding, and then what happened?
No, then we moved to Long Range. Had a job there for a couple of months. That was off because lady went bankrupt. And after that, we just start doing stuff. And so we bought our old house and start building it out. One part of a house we decided to build into pizza shop. So that was, so I had to draw all the plans and so on. Yeah.
So you drew the plans for the house.
So actually, yeah, that wasn't the first one. One plan was before I helped with the commercial hotel plans in a kitchen plan that was done by on my drawings.
Yeah.
And yes, so we done a couple of those drawings. So actually, from idea to drawings to building it to finishing to passing all through the health and safety, everything else, and key open.
Okay. So what I'm now hearing is, so we finished MasterChef, we finished welding, and then now we finished drawing the plans for the kitchen, and then we finished
car mechanics.
Then how did you move into car mechanics?
Oh, that was back in Germany, because I used to have a small sports car, a Triumph Spitfire, and was always breaking down. And I had a friend who owned a car mechanics shop. So I worked there during the day, and in the afternoon, after the shop was closed, I was working on my car. So I worked there, learned there, and then done that. And that's it how I done other things. Yeah.
All right. So I'm again making a list of the things because I know there's more to come. So you did your MasterChef course, then you were a car mechanic and you can literally build a sports car. Then you drew the plans for the kitchen, and then you did your welding inspection course, and then you can actually draw the plans and almost for a residential premises, isn't it? And then what happened? From there, what did you do? And then you opened a pizza shop. Okay. And
then I built my own pizza shop. Then I built my own pizza shop because nobody in the town wanted to give me a shop. So I said, okay, go get stuff. Bought old house and chopped the half of it and turned it into a pizza shop, 28 square meters.
Wow. And then what happened? So was that successful?
So 2 years later, I think we demolished that and rebuild it on 100 square meters. Okay, so that was a good, and that's it. When I start doing other things, a little bit more personal development and so on. So I start putting some challenges onto myself. You know how they say you should double your wealth every 7 years.
So before going into the wealth, I want to understand. So now you finished the car process, the pizza shop, and you took it from 28 square meter to 100 square meter. And then where did the boats come in?
After that, it's actually during that time we just bought the boat and then cleaned it up, fixed it up a little bit. That's all. Yeah. So now nothing with the building boat, but doing more stuff and building shops and that. Yeah.
All right. And from there, how did you move into the next phase?
The next phase, a challenge. I said, okay, now,
what was the challenge? Like what triggered you? What was the challenge? Because you're doing a good pizza shop.
Because they said, the thing is, you should double your wealth every 7 years.
Who said that?
It's like a benchmark.
So who said that? Like, where did you hear that? I want to know.
On some of the seminars.
Oh, so
I said,
so
okay. And that was okay. That was okay, because if you are small, it's easy to double.
All right. So I just want to understand that, because I want to understand your thought process there. So you're doing well, and parallelly, you focused on your personal development through seminars.
Yes. That's when I started my personal development when I started doing my master degree and all that. Yes.
All right. So, and then in the seminars, you took on this message that you had to double your income.
Yeah.
So
Good.
Okay, and is that the starting point for you to think about building your passive income? Or is it much later?
Actually, no, personally, much later, but I think I done it already by building up, because to do the passive income, you have to have enough base to it. Okay.
What do you mean by enough base to it?
Base, like you have to have some sort of asset which will produce your passive income.
So how did you build your base then for your passive income? I'm trying to get a structure, not only for, because in NLP we use this language called, if someone can do it, you can do it too, and we always model. And in modeling process, we try to understand everything that's happening in your brain. So I'm curious to know, how did you build the base for your passive income?
Just by working, living, and like I said, just doubling stuff and doing more and more.
Doing more? What was that? Like you're repeating the doing more and doubling.
Yeah, more like building your business. So because by working you won't make your wealth.
Oh, by working you would. So how do we make then?
by investing in assets.
So did you have enough money to invest in the assets?
I didn't have money.
So how did you strategize?
Bank has money. Bank has money. I have only deposits.
That's right. That's the curiosity I have. So all the business people, they say, even we as coaches, we say, oh, we don't have money to invest in that. But you built something from nothing. So
you don't need money. You need better ideas.
So can you talk to me about that idea? Like you didn't have money, bank has money. So how did you manage? When did that leap happen? Actually, when did the turn happen towards the passive income from there, when you didn't have any money?
Actually, what happened is once I was in a business, I was always working and saving, and that was for every other house I bought after that was just to do the deposit. So if I needed 10 back then, 1990s, if I needed 10,000, 20,000, I just had that amount of deposit to get it, and I could prove. And then back then it was a little bit easier to get any loans than today.
Well, so investment was your strategy to create your passive income.
And then somewhere along the line we went into something bigger and bigger, doubling.
Yeah.
And the one I done, actually, that's what I say. Sometimes if you don't know what to do, be bold. And
sometimes if you don't know what to do, be bold. That's what you said.
Yes.
Okay. So, how were you bold?
Bold enough to go to the real estate and talk with them, because we drove around the town and in a holidays, we went to holidays and then drove around the town and had that pamphlet, real estate pamphlet, and I had to look because we want to move a town and find a shop and the residents above, you see, similar like we have there, just door separates you from shop. So instead going next door, you're in a residence, going back, you're in a shop. So I thought, go bigger, have the whole floor shop and I flew upstairs to live. Anyway, we went for a drive and see a nice shop, and it was for on an auction, but was on a weekend. Okay, and we supposed to go somewhere before that. I think on Wednesday, Thursday, and the auction was on a Saturday. So I went in and asked the real estate, "What's the story?" Back then, because I didn't know nothing about it. And he said, "Oh well, you can buy it before that." So okay, how? So you can put amount in, and then we can consider. I don't know how much, and so on. He says, "Oh well, if you put that amount, you most likely will get it." I said,
Yes.
okay. So we went home, think about it a little bit. Hour later, I went back and signed it, signed the contract, subject to finance. I didn't have a deposit, didn't have a loan, nothing, approved, nothing. I just went and buy and signed it, and then from there we went straight to the what's the name, to solicitor. I took $200 out for petrol so we can drive home, because that's it. Paid $1,500 back then for solicitor, and the rest was our holiday money, a couple of $100. That's it.
All right. So the two things I heard in Zeljko's language was, one is when you don't know, be bold. So you exercise that gut thing over there, that gut feeling. And the second one you asked is how. You didn't.
And what's his name? Solicitor asked me what I'm gonna do. I said, I'm gonna put a pizza shop in. I said, yeah, but there is already six big pizza shops, chains. I said, yes. So I said to him, you have to see that like as a circus with the lions. You go naked in a cage with the lions, which are the big pizza shops. And if you get eaten, that's just another number. But if not, I told him, if not, I come and talk with you.
Yeah, all right. So what we're understanding that Jax was saying, so you used the first house to raise the deposit to buy another, and then you repeated that and you started investing.
Sort of, yes.
All right.
Definitely.
Yeah. So when you did that, so then what happened? So you invested in your home. So when is it you realized that, okay, now I'm not working for money anymore? When did you realize that?
That was much later, maybe 10 years later, when we moved to Toowoomba and done.
Okay, so in this 10 years, can you tell me 3 milestones? Like, these are the key turning points, that this is the decision I took and that doubled this something for me. What happened in those 10 years?
Okay, they moved to a new town, to new city.
Okay, and what made you to move to a new town?
Opportunity to get a pizza shop next to a video store, because that was always my wish, to have a next door video store. Because in other shops where I bought that commercial property, there was no video store. So if I go in there, then I should have open two shops. One is a pizza shop, one video shop, and that was too much in a new town and so on. So I decided to go to Toowoomba and live next, open a shop next to a video store. So actually only wall between us.
All right. So what I'm hearing is your dream you chased your dream, and you're not attached to a place. You're not attached to one city. You're not attached to one town. Pretty much your dream, you chased your dream at that point of time. Okay. Yep. So you moved into the new city. You're not attached to anything. You didn't identify yourself, though you established yourself over there. So what was the thought in your mind? What strategy did you use to kind of let go like that? Because you built it. So people would normally think, I've put all my efforts in and I built it, so I want to be here. But what you are different to say, okay, I let it go, and then
you cannot double. If you cannot double if you hang to it.
So that principle kind of guided you.
Yes. Say, because back then in Long Beach I said I will double every 7 years. Then I said I will double every 3 years, which I did. I will double every year and a half. I did. And then to go more, you have to change the scenery, because you have to understand how far you can grow in one. You know, like in a fishbowl, the shark's gonna be only that big if it's if the fishbowl is that big. If you have a fishbowl like that, the shark will grow that far.
So your strategy was always your principle,
Yes,
and you change your strategy in order to get to yours. And you think you're driven more by your will than, because people say allow things to happen. Yeah, so people say allow things to happen, but what you did is actually you had a decision, a willpower, you took a decision and you stood with it, with your willpower. Okay, and then what happened? So you moved into that new town, and then what's the next turning point from there? So did you make it?
One more shop. So the very first in the beginning was I want to double, and then I said the next one will cost me no money, with no money. So that was the one where when I bought that commercial property with no money at all myself to put down. So just bang like that. And I said, okay, if it's like that, I said, now we're gonna double. Okay, so that's again where I opened the first shop, and I said, okay, the next shop is gonna cost me only a couple of thousand, and it cost me only a couple of thousands. Okay.
Okay.
And I said, okay, I'm gonna have a next show, next job. It cost me nothing, and it cost me nothing.
So you kind of set intentions, you took the decisions, and you made your will. You used your willpower to make it happen. And then what happened? So then you opened up another shop, and then what's the next turning point to lead
Next turning point was the one when I said the next one's gonna be for free. So how is that for free? It's very easy. Okay, I had a friend who was working for cleaning company, and they didn't pay proper. And I said to them, talk to the building company, let them know I can do that. So I went to a meeting on that day, and the fella says, okay, you got the job. So I took all the cleaners over, everything. Cost me nothing.
So now you're talking about a cleaning business.
Yes. It's a business. It's just a business.
That's right.
So it's a business.
That's true. So it's a cleaning business. So from real estate, so we moved on to all those 6 different things. Then we focused on your real estate, and then you took on a cleaning business. But now what I'm curious about is now by this time you're financially stable. And still, what drove you to take up another business? Like how is your mind thinking? Why did you want to go completely into a different business, leaving your identity of real estate in
nothing? The rest I can learn.
So is it so? That's interesting. So you're telling me that I had all the money I want, and still learning motivated you to take up a cleaning business.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then what's the next turning point?
Like after that, done all this, and
done all this what? Done to the point of cleaning business?
The shops and so on. Then we said, oh well, that's enough of growth, whatever it is, and we're gonna stop a little bit because we run out on leases, and the one wasn't. The one was the land was sold. The other one was not extended. The lease was not extended. So because they've been rebuilding and so on, I said, okay, cool. Closed up everything as is, and then after that had a year off.
Why did you
studying small business?
That's interesting. So why did you take a year off?
Because I didn't have any business.
So that kind of helped you, and then what you did is you took the time to study something.
Yes.
So after doing all these big businesses, what made you to study small business?
Just like that. I like learning stuff, and so on. Yeah.
You like learning stuff. Okay, and then what happened? So as a result of
then I went in oil and gas, working in a camp as a cleaner for 3-4 years, and I see what's going on there. I said, oh, look, those guys, they're earning big money. I like that. I study. So I finished off my work health and safety diploma plus everything else.
And then you became a work health and safety.
No. After that was a 14-15. Everything just went kaput.
Yeah.
So stopped working then.
Yeah.
And then I finished off another diploma in auditing, integrated management systems, which is again a part of it,
Yeah.
Then I done drug and alcohol testing and mental health first aid and so on.
Yes.
That's all part of a work health and safety. So yes.
Oh, so as part of workplace health and safety. So oil and gas driven you to pursue workplace health and safety, and
Yes.
as a result you studied all this.
Yes.
And that went completely low in 2014-15 because
Yes.
of obvious reasons. So apparently the efforts that you put in building yourselves up is pretty much gone.
Yes. Waste of money.
Waste of money, waste of time, waste of effort. And then how did you turn it around?
Did not. I just said, okay, if it's like that, just cool off a while. And that's when I stopped working. I just live off my investment.
So by then you're already created your passive income.
Everything.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is you already created your passive income, and that's when you took your 1 year off.
The first year off, yes, that was just about to be cleared everything. And then after that 1 year, that's when I went to oil and gas, made pretty good money, and cleaned everything up.
All right, and that's when. So when is the key turning point when you sat and realized I made my money and I can live off of this money? When did you realize that?
I don't know, 2015, 2016, something like that. Actually, I was always thinking I will still go back in a mines in a 16. That's why I done further study, because in the beginning was Cert 4 was good enough to go into some positions.
Yeah.
By the time I finished the diploma, was already diploma, and a year later was already 2 diplomas for 1 position.
Yeah.
So
So you
I
were
said,
very
okay.
strategic. So you were very strategic in getting these roles and making money. So in 2015-16, you identified that, okay, I created my passive income. I have my investment properties. I made the money. And then what motivated you?
Okay, put this way.
Continue to do.
People they chase jobs. Okay, I
Yeah.
choose positions.
What do you mean?
What I mean is this: I can work delivery. I can work all that stuff. It's no problems. All those jobs I can work. It's no problems with that. I proved that to myself long time ago. But what you do? You don't chase jobs as per se. You look for positions, and position, that means if I want to work somewhere, I want my desk, my computer, my car off the and company have to give me career path. If I don't get that out of company, I don't want to work for that company.
So what positions did you hold?
I was looking for health and safety, but like I said, that was back then already gone. And after that, I just cooled off, pulled everywhere plugs because I was on the safety side.
Okay.
So actually, I don't work since 2015.
Yeah. So
I live off
Now what
my
is
investment.
yes, and now what is motivating you? So now I clearly know, and you did mention that it's not just you, all your friends are pretty much, they're all on the passive income and they're not working for money anymore. But what is motivating you now? You're still
Books,
driven, you're still doing your business.
knowledge.
So what are
I
you
like
doing now?
mix with you guys, with everybody else. I just stopped before I was on a mentoring call with my mentor. 6 o'clock. They're still going, so I knocked off and come here.
So tell me 5 things at the moment you're doing, because that kind of curious, because people think, oh, I had to work for money or I had to meet my ends. This is the thought that they go through. You're done with in 2015-16. So now what are the things you're doing? Tell me 5 things that you're working on at the moment. What are your 5 projects? Big ones?
Myself.
Yourself?
5 times myself.
That's interesting. I like that. I love it. What other businesses you have? What other businesses at the moment? Like you have something with peanut butter, your business.
That's a different story. That's coaching and doing stuff. That's just a sideliner.
What is a sideliner? So I'm curious. So what is motivating you now to do a sideliner?
Self-awareness maybe of before, when I was a boss myself. It's many times is a micromanaging and all that stuff. Yeah. This way that I'm only on a Zoom call, it's a different story. You cannot say, okay, go by side, I do it. You have to be like that. So which is good. It's again for my personal development. Okay.
So in spite of whatever journey you had, and where people can clearly cool their heels off and say, I'm done, I'm going to now enjoy an Amalfi Coast. Probably that's my dream. But anyways, instead of saying that, now it's your first, from there, you moved into personal development. So now this looks very successful career trajectory, right? But I'm curious to know your downtimes. Talk to me about those 3 key downtimes where you went really low and how you pull yourself up. Talk to me, because people should know. People think just because someone is successful, there's no hard work or there's no tears behind, but we do go through those downtimes.
Everything.
So talk to me about 3 downtimes in your life that you felt everything is gone and then you pull yourself up.
Okay. Which one? Once you, when you cannot find job and when you get fired, whatever it is, that's in the very early stages, and then you have to then you have a breakups.
So talk to me about what did you tell yourself to say that losing a job or made redundant or fired? What did you talk to yourself? Did you go to what was your the real lowest point? What is your real lowest point?
I don't know. It's lots of points. Put this way, once you go that far, you sort of build already a safety net. So you know yourself already when you're that far. Oh, okay, that we've been already there. So start pulling the handbrake on that. Okay, so and the thing is, it's just failing forward. John C. Maxwell, failing forward.
So what is it? Talk to me about that failing forward.
So you make mistakes and you just keep going. That's all what it is.
So
you have to have a mental resilience, okay? And the only how to build your mental resilience is just to go through stuff.
So you just go through. So just what I'm curious about is, see, many people
start ducking.
When they go into that lowest point, how do you pull yourself? Because how do you?
Don't give up.
That's easy to say, but still there's some chatter in your mind that you took on to pull yourself up. So what is that?
What is it? It's just, it's not time to give up. That's it. It's never time to give up, actually. So you just have to go.
You just have to go. You just go through it, just have to go.
Yeah.
And did you have someone to fall back on? Did you have like parents or family to fall back on, or is it you leading?
It's more myself, because what happened is, like everything else, is what they say, many bad stuff doesn't last long.
What
Okay.
is that? Many bad stuff doesn't last long.
Doesn't last long. Okay, and so is it with the good stuff as well. So don't get carried away. Okay. And many times when you know that when you're younger, life is good, and then it's gonna last forever, and that's when you get busted. So yes, so you learn very quickly. So living below your means, rule number 1.
What was that?
Living below your means.
What do you mean by that?
Huh?
What do you mean by that? Living below your means?
Don't overspend.
Don't overspend.
For bad stuff.
For bad stuff. All right. And then what motivates
bad credit and good credit. Bad debt and a good debt.
Okay. Bad debt and a good debt. And then what motivates you now? Because you're still so energetic, you still do so many things. What motivates you now? At that time, success. At that time, the principles. At that time, to double the money. Now, what really motivates you? I'm curious. What motivates you?
Just to prove myself that I can do it again. But this time, what I'm doing, it's no money and double of all that what I had before.
All right. So you took your life almost like 2 compartments. So one chapter of your life, you made, say, some money. And then you started your second, knowing that you have enough money. You started literally a shooting hero, and you doubled what you had in the previous phase of your life. That's what motivating you.
Then you reassess it, and then project it.
All right.
I shoot, fight, have fun.
Yeah, that's the next
get
thing.
Beaten up,
Thank
survive.
you. That's what I'm leading into. Why did you say? You said 3 Fs: focus, fight, and have fun. Talk to me about the fighting aspect. What is the fighting aspect?
The fighting aspect is that one when you sometimes, like you asked before, when was the last time that you went down? Okay, so that's the one when you become more resilient. Okay, and you have to fight. Fight means exploring more possibilities than everybody else does. Okay,
exploring more possibilities than everybody else does. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so that's your fight.
Yes. Yeah, you know, because many times people gonna try 1, 2, 3 times and they stop. I'm prepared actually to reshuffle the whole lot, chuck it and get the new one, reset it, and do another battle. Okay.
So when do you decide to stop?
Never.
You don't decide. All right. Okay. And then
put this way, it's about choosing your battles. Choosing your battles. Okay. You don't go in. You see what you want, what you need. Okay, that's what I was talking before with being in a flow. You don't have to work hard. No. Yes, but you have to align yourself to that. You have to position yourself to it. Okay, and that's the new way for me.
Beautiful. Yeah. And then talk to me about the fun aspect, because people think life is serious, or the people who went through kind of your challenges, they think, oh, I fought, I made the money, and they become serious. I speak to people, they're very uptight and they're serious. But you seem to be like cool. So what is the fun aspect? And I love your yellow sports car. And you told me you will get a red Ferrari now. So talk to me about the fun aspect of you.
Put this way. Like I said, I was talking with my mentor as well about, I said, Ferrari, everybody wants a Ferrari. I want my Ferrari. I have a picture around the corner. It's a big one with F50 or F60 with my picture in the driver's seat. Okay.
Are you materialistic? Are you materialistic? Like that drives you, that car? So why do you want a car? Are you materialistic in your approach?
No, that was the first part. Then after that I said, the Ferrari now, I won't pay for that at all. The Ferrari have to buy himself. He doesn't buy himself, I don't want it anymore.
All right. So I'm curious now here, Zeljko. So talk to me about your attachment aspects. So how attached are you to whatever the material aspects of? How attached are you to that? Do they mean anything to you?
What?
The material aspects around you in your life.
Used to maybe. Not
So
today.
now,
You see, I was always dreaming to have a what's the name, steering wheel shifter.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
have on that car what is out there. I have that, and when I bought it, I was ecstatic for three months, and then because I had another 2 cars, so you have only one bum and 3 cars, so you cannot drive only one car.
So now talk to me about your attachment. So I'm curious about that because see, you achieved.
That doesn't put this way. If you're attached to something, then you need more growth. That's all.
If you're attached to something, you need more growth.
Yes. If you're attached to something, yes.
Okay.
Because you have to be able to drop everything. Okay. And that was the last week I was thinking about that. It's the same about the business, you know. Here I wrote down somewhere, don't be afraid to lose. In every loss there is a growth.
I would like you to repeat that because I think that's the key message. So can you repeat that for me?
Don't be afraid to lose. In every loss there is a growth.
So if I ask you, Zeljko, if there is one message you want to give to a youngster who wants to make big in their life and still be so detached like you are today, what would be that one message?
There's 2 messages.
What are they?
First things first, stay focused. If not, okay. The second one is for everything in life is time.
For everything in life is time. Okay. So for everything in life is time. I like that. Stay focused. And the other one is don't be afraid to lose because there is growth in the loss.
Yes. Once you experience it consciously, you believe it.
All right. So don't be afraid to lose, and there's growth in the loss. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Zeljko. I think
Thank you for having me.